Hello guys, it's time for me to show you guys the way of the battle mode. So now that I have everything set up, it's time to show you guys how I want this to be done, or at least the concept of it, because I'm tired of just saying it in text. So I'm visually creating how it's supposed to work out. So this is just a little something that I want to sort of like have archived as a game design documentation for anybody who wants to try to understand what I'm trying to do over here. Visually, there is paper, but paper's not enough if you're doing something visual and you're trying to communicate it. So this is a way of me communicating my idea forward in true high concept action. I try to do things in a fashion where I can, like, um illustrate better in visual communication. And it's hard. Visual communication is very difficult because everybody has their own way and gestures of how to show and express different ideas in different ways. So this is my way, and I hope you actually understand what I'm trying to say with this stuff. So I had this idea while I was working, and I was just thinking to myself, that's what happened with my other peoples who try to help me out with this whole concept. So I'm gonna put this on YouTube as an unlisted video for anybody who wants to see, and also it's for me too. This is more of a reference. So what I have it right here set up in battle mode is the perimeter, dark, and two enemies. To better make the example, let me try to find that enemy. That enemy. I know it kind of sounds sort of stuck up at the second. Alright. That's part of the enemy list, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to do Skull and Bones, the Devourer, the Red Shishi, yeah, monsters, very strange monsters. The Finger Man, which is a meme, but it's like something. Oh, okay. So it's not in here. Yeah, everybody except the one and onlys. Trying to avoid visually showing those guys. That's actually in the game, in the demo. You have to unlock hard mode. Okay. I don't think I put bosses in here yet. Dun, dun. Oh yeah, I did some editing. Alright, let's do the song. Examples. No, projects. Yeah, if you see all this, like, right now, it's just that everything is kind of like moved over into the hard drive, so the real date is in the backup hard drive. go. Bosses, enemies. I think that's where I had to go. Isn't anyone? There we go. Cardi-Man is the original bad guy. He's like Dark's Goomba. Like, he's supposed to be the iconic one enemy that I'm trying to do. And there's 3 versions of this enemy, which I designed. What's going on is, for battle mode, there is also, should I put it in here? Okay, let's see. This is full. Okay. All right, let's see here. So first, this is a action RPG. So the real-time part has to do with the perimeter. It's a real-time turn-based, no, real-time action RPG. So by action, alright, let's just make it all fancy over here, right? I mean that when, so let me put the perimeter up here. Alright. So this is pretty much what's going on. So you are Dark, right? And you're walking around, you know, saying what's up. Hi, how you guys doing? Everything's good. Oh no, they're attacking me. Right. So what happened is, like, you know, they're just doing their own thing. This guy, because he's blind, he just bumps into walls. And when he bumps, he goes to a different direction. Bumps, you know, bumps, goes up, bumps, and then it goes this way. So if you get to go close and actually hit each other's way, it will form a battle perimeter. While these guys are just chilling by themselves. If these guys have like a point of view and you are in it, they kind of like, oh, you're there? I'm gonna go running and trying to find you. But their point of views are so small, like perimeter wise, that, you know, you can actually avoid them and run around them. But if you happen to be there and there's a crowd, of bad guys and you bump into one, then the perimeter starts. And within the perimeter of the bad guys, usually what happened with the perimeter is that like it could be huge, right? But it will let you know perimeter wise. Um, okay, so it could be any size, it can be anything when it comes out to perimeter wise, it can be whatever. And so when that happens, battle mode happens. So you have idle mode, which is normal, you're walking without a sword, and then battle mode when you see monsters around, and especially if there's a crowd of monsters, you actually will like well, this is one of the ideas, but I was just thinking like if you take off the perimeter and you see the crowd, you're still not in battle mode yet, but when you approach them and they see you, like for instance he sees you, like instead of touching the player, and he sees you, or this thing is still running around and this is like really close to you, like there will be like a character perimeter here, right? And if you meet up with the character perimeter and within, it's kind of like a collision, like a hidden field, right? And this is, right here, this is how close I would say, um you know where then battle mode is started. So all of a sudden, you with the weapon, you start up and you go into real-time action where you unsheath your weapon, whatever it is. Right now, Dark has a wooden sword, right? And that wooden sword can upgrade through the entire game to different degrees with just that one weapon. Then what happened is that these enemies would just surround you, and since battle mode is started, they know exactly where you are, and they do what they need to do. They have their own actions already in place. So, but the perimeter is there in the purpose of running away from battle. So if you want to run away, um, you will have to hit the perimeter and you have to hold into the perimeter for a couple of seconds, like you holding down a button or whatever. And what happens is a prompt will show up and says, do you want to run away from battle? And if you say yes, this goes away, and then they go, enemies go back into their idle mode, meaning they just go wander around again. If the chance tells you, if the chance leads you to being able to run away in the first place. Now, if you cannot, when the other chance is if you can't go into, you can't run away, then battle mode would just kick you back into the fight in the opposite direction, and the enemies will have the next turn and they will just attack you with their own set of moves. So when it comes down to this guy right here, what he does is just he tries to bump into you if you need to, but there's a chance that you can actually evade. While this guy over here does more damage, more like biting as an attack, and you can evade or you can shield with the weapon, because Dark doesn't really have a shield. He just uses the weapon to be able to like shield against attacks, kind of like, so when that happens, all right, whatever. Now, the other cause or the other thing that I wanted to do was helpers. So, let's see if I can do something real quick. Pixels 32 by 32, 72. Transparent. Okay. And Z. Zoom in. This is going to be really fast. Oh. Alright, cool. That was in. Never mind. So, just for the sake of everything, I'm not gonna do the perfect being here, just something real quick. So, if anybody ever played Earthbound, the idea comes from, in essence, from Earthbound. What was it? The Birdman, and so this is almost like Birdman. So, I'm not trying to do anything special. Save. Okay, there we go. There's two buttons. Oh. Damn it, that's why. I was like, no, I didn't want to summon you because it's Photoshop. This is the NVIDIA control crap. Alright. So... Dun, 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 dun. It's better to start with a silhouette, right? Yeah. Why do I do this to myself? And sorry, I picked my nose. Let's get to silver. Oh, that works. Hmm. Hmm. That works. All right. So let us just dun, 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 dun. Huh. Sorry. Spelled it in Spanish. Call this there. There we go. And control on. Hmm? Oh, okay. we are. V. Control all. Copy. And place. Ha. Ha 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 ha. For the sake of this video, we'll give him the weird design, I know, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna have him like that. So, okay. So we have an assistant. So we're gonna call him the assistant. So just regular dude. I would have just a regular like shadow, whatever, but I want to give him some character, smile on the face, and overall looks weird, but no worries. It's just for this video alone, and there's nothing here is final. It's just a placeholder. Everything else is mostly like a placeholder too, because Dark actually I have a better design, and this dude right here I actually am been making his what was it, voxel version of the bad guy. So I actually have this dude, the assistant, in 3D. I just have it somewhere else right now. I don't want to like take 30 minutes to try to find it. So instead, let's draw one up real quick. You know, that was real quick. That was like 15 minutes, right? Yeah, it's already 30 minutes, 30-minute video. So, this is not gonna be a shorty. This is gonna be a long one because I'm trying to describe something. So what happened is that this guy is following you, right? Since forever. And actually, perimeter, let me, put it all the way in the bottom. I'll call this ground. Alright. So, yeah, like that. You can walk over the perimeter. So what happened is like, alright, you know, character is like a, you know, your regular RPG where he's following you, right? The mechanic that I was trying to go forward with this is that in Secret Mana you have a option to actually have a second player. So the second player can actually come in at any time and help you play the game, you know, co-op. The same thing in the aspect of the assistant. So what happened in the game is that within the story, Dark meets up with a robot that's out of commission, and you can activate the assistant within a chamber once you go into the chamber, and kind of like open up the tube. The assistant comes out, you know, but he's still deactivated. The only way you activate it is by having to combine 3 crystals, and these crystals are like special attributes, you know, like A crystals. Well, I call them, yeah, you can call them A crystals, or just attribute crystals. And so you have strength, speed, and defense, Smash Brothers style. So think of it like an amiibo. And in Smash Brothers, what you do is that you collect the different like kind of like weapon attributes or configurations to get your meat characters up and running, whatever stats you want, and then you can use custom stats too for your um, other fighters. So think of it like that for an assistant only. You can't do that with the main player. The main player has other things that he can actually assign for defense, strength, and speed, and it's not needed, but the assistant is needed. So what happened is, like, just to get the assistant to help you to be able to be put online, you just use the stock that's within the same chamber. It's kind of like a self tutorial to tell the player how to use your assistant. And once you're done with that, you come into the element of battle mode in real time, where once you hit, into the perimeter, the assistant goes into whatever you assign him to do. So there will be a menu for the assistant, pre-menu, meaning you can set it up in the inventory or the menu. You can say the second screen where your stats are and whatever. And in assistant systems, you can tell the strategy of fighting that you want that within that particular character. So if you want the character to be more aggressive or defensive, or just simply what was it, assistive, well, assistive, I don't know if that's even the word, but um or a healer, he can actually stay by the sidelines, right, and let you do all the work, right? Da, 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 da. And this is like, okay, within the perimeter, since battle mode starts, button activates and switches from idle to battle mode, and you can use attack. So literally you go into attack mode, and you can use variations of different buttons to do your moves. So think of Hyrule Warriors or any warrior game where all of a sudden you can do like uh, you know um, different key combinations or button combinations to do different moves, and that's where Dark's stuff happens. To unlock every single upgrade of his weapon, that it gives you special different moves within this gameplay aspect of it. And the assistant can very well just be on the sidelines and heal your character if you go below a certain percentage. And we're doing health points, magic points. In this particular will be more like skill points. And so um, and and yeah, and also there are combo moves that you can actually learn with your assistant. So at the end, oh no, that was not meant to happen. Hang on, X that, X that, and X that. There you go. So what happened was, like, if you have with your assistant in your you can achieve a special button. Yeah, so you have skills and you have special bar. If your special bar is full, you can use the special bar to be able to do like killer moves with your assistant. So your assistant be able to have actually like use those 2 points to be able, like, skill points and special points, to be able to go and do a super move. So you both can be able to like do some kind of X attack, think a Chrono Trigger, in those regards. But besides that, your system will just be chilling. in any which way you want to direct it first. Preset the direction so that the actual AI does the job for you in the way you want the AI to perform. Um, and so when it comes down to the enemies can do combos. It depends on the enemy group set. So if you are like within the perimeter aspect of what was going on, then you have, the character Dark with what was it, with your assistant, and then in doing all those moves, you'll be fine. So story wise, I added assistant because right now I do have other experiments that the was it not was it the Guardian of Dreams, was it? Yeah, the Guardian Dreams performed. The Guardian Dreams in the storyline is pretty much a scientist, a biologist who was trying to find a way to create life. And Dark, from so many different experiments, came about with its form. So that storyline is in Dark Zeta Origins, which I wrote it up. It's on my Patreon. People are interested to know exactly the backstory. I made a whole little snippet of it. Um, and I locked it up behind Patreon for now. So if anybody's interested to know, it's there. I'm gonna try to make an animation out of it in the future, maybe 2 or 3 years from now. So in the basic set, that's it. You control your moves with the controller. So if you want me to get more specific, I got the controller right here. So that's why what I didn't want to do any more real specifics because it's an evolution. When it comes down to these things, design is always evolving, and it depends on the player input. So that's why, like, for me, if I was going to do something in the preliminaries, it would be more on the comfort zone of what I already expect, but then I can like make it more clever as I experience the actual um you know prototype on my own for a little bit longer. So I understand that it's more research and development. The whole point of those two words is defined by that idea of researching your way to do this. So that's the whole point. So that's why when I want to kind of like get this thing going, it has to be, I know this sounds kind of complicated, but this is why I illustrate it for everybody to see exactly where I'm going with Dark in the second directional. um I want to find somebody who's a seasoned coder to help me get this going because I'm not a coder at all. I'm a scripter, not even a scripter, more of a modifier kind of guy. And so I can only get so far with code. I can put a Frankenstein together, but it's not gonna be at all any real uh, thing, unfortunately. So, like, is it gonna be playable for everybody? Like, oh yeah, but will they have bugs and it's gonna be all bad? Yeah, of course. It's not gonna be perfect. The code isn't gonna be very inefficient, but it will do the job. And that's the part that makes me feel very scared because it's like a lot of people think that anybody who can use Unity is like a genius. No. You gotta understand the human portion of it, and not everybody can really do this stuff. So, um, and not anybody can actually use Unity. They use other tools to be able to do what they know. So, this is what happened to the guy who made Tetris. If you see the documentary, you will understand that the guy who created Tetris wasn't the only guy who created Tetris. He made Tetris for the language that he used for his computer and to have fun with that. But his computer was not the same as everybody's computer, and the language he used to make Tetris originally was not, um, you can say, uh, for mass market. It was not mass market friendly. So he actually gave somebody who knew how to code for modern PCs and game console for free. He didn't even give money. Obviously, in the communist country, they're doing it under the umbrella of a company that's owned by the government. So this particular young guy will help the Tetris designer to get the game out. Uh, gave him that gift because it's a gift that was amazing, and his genius helped the after years later help the Tetris game designer to fulfill his stuff. So once that was done, and that genius flowed, can you believe it? Designers are designers, certain the real deal stuff is like people with vision. Just need somebody who will be able to realize that vision, and most often today is those visionaries usually have a very deep, steep pocket. Not me. I'm broke. I'm financially dead. I'm never gonna really reach to that level, and I might as well just pack it up and move on because me at 37 trying to learn and C sharp in Unity and try to get to this detail, um it's not gonna be a walk in the park, that's for sure. It's gonna take more than 5 years to try to understand how to code. Do I have the patience for it? Well, do I have the willpower? I don't like coding. I hate it. I've tried it. I so hate it. I started hating video games after that, and I was like, damn. And then that's why I try to get a coder, and then somebody who actually knows what he's doing. And that particular person cornered himself in the sense where he promised something that he never fulfilled, and just pretty much drained everything out and decided to work for something else to be able to get back on his feet again because it was just completely draining him. That's why he quit, because he exhausted all the funds that I gave him and he never really accomplished anything. And it wasn't this idea at all either. It was completely just something even more straightforward, which is on the basis of simple action RPG that you would be in battle mode all the time, not in idle mode. And so, why did I divide it from your regular, idle mode to battle mode? Was because I played Dragon Quest, and Dragon Quest kind of gave me that inspiration. Um, because if you have battle mode, you can actually have more fun. Um, and everything's mapped out into that mode, in that battle mode. And then you can have a chill mode. A chill mode is more like you get your items, you make items, and you talk to people, and you basically do extracurricular stuff, extra activity stuff that could be easily assigned to the buttons that you don't really need to think about occupying so many other buttons. So the button layout changes, and flips and changes into something else. That's the whole point of those two modes. If we had like a controller that's constantly there, then there will be no need like a controller with 20 buttons. But no, we not we have to be clever here, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it has to be software in those regards. So battle mode, I want to make it more fun, and that's why I want to dedicate a mode particularly for it by that circumstance. I can very well do this in Game Maker, but also I would have to need to spend over $800 to get the different tiers to export it to those platforms. I mean, I will focus on PC first, but at the same time, narration wise, graphical presentation, um, Unity gave me something unique that I cannot do in Game Maker, or I have to find a very interesting way in Game Maker to do it, because it's everywhere is possible. It's just that in Game Maker is different because it's coming from 2D to 3D. 3D is extra, and Unity is 3D to 2D. So 3D first, and then 2D as like a secondary thing. Nowadays, Unity is trying to, do both, simultaneously, in the sense where you can pick both to do. But a lot of people already know the 3D aspects of it first, and the 2D is like, complementary. Well, Game Maker is 2D, and then people are trying to find 3D ways to make 3D in a 2D environment, which I've already seen is totally possible. It's just that it has the more, you have to give a little bit more work to do that, in this sense. So, have I tried other engines? Unreal, I tried. Unreal's not compatible to my laptop setup at the moment. It asks for a very large hard drive, and I don't have that. I only have 5 gigs in this main C drive, so yeah. Unreal 4 really asks for more than that. Come on now. That's like asking for the computer to die on me in 2 seconds. So, um, Unity is more modular in its form factor, which I can do whatever in there. I found different ways to make an open world in Unity too, so pretty much it equals Unreal in many ways. So a lot of people say no, but it's good for open world. Like Unity as well is good for open world. I found a way where I can read these things. If anybody ever saw Horizon Zero Dawn and how they actually made it super efficient, you know what I mean? How it draws the graphics, and how it's super efficient it does it, and how beautifully like the programmers and designers did that game is just fuck. It just me looking at these things in YouTube, not even playing it, I am so romantically in love with that game and how it was made. And so that's the same application that you can easily do in Unity. And a lot of people just think to themselves, oh, but you have to lay the entire map in there. No, you're dumb. You can't, you're not thinking efficient. You have to think efficient. So, and that's the aspect of like, if you're gonna load stuff up, there is ways to load up in Unity without hurting the player's experience. And you can have an open world, set up in Unity in those regards. So that's the beauty that most seasoned programmers can do. So I can only see it by researching what's up and what's going down with the tool sets. I already have one of the tool sets to actually make that possible from the asset store. So it's called World Streamer. Look it up. It's freaking fantastic. I already have that. So my thing is that I need to put all these components together, which is modular, all these components to make sense with each other. And like, if I'm gonna do something like a real-time action RPG battle mode, like how I already showed you guys, that is something that you know, it's gonna take time, unfortunately. I wish I was done by it today, like it's just I wish it was released in November next month, but no. I wanted to have it by ready 2018. I've been doing this for 7 years. And first, what happened was that when I made the demo in 2013, family stuff happened, and like my dad had two strokes. It was at the brink of dying, and so I, had a pause, and I couldn't concentrate anymore, and I just had to go try to find, try to be with the fam, and try and like kind of like settle down with my anxiety and depression, because then they happen afterwards, and trying to find different solutions. So started back up again in 2014, but then a lot other stuff happened in 2014, and then 2015 happened, and I was financially on the edge of just I got myself something else that actually helped me to bounce back, which is positive. And then I go back again into the fall, and then it was negative, and then I got myself back up again in 2016, and then I just told myself, okay, let's just do dark. It's supposed to have been ready in 2017, but then stuff happened. A lot of stuff lagged, and I focused too much on the financial aspect of it, not the creative aspect of it. Then family drama uh, blocked everything. I got really, really, really depressed when I lost a lot of money in stocks, and and then I finished the teaser in July, and that was supposed to be a big thing. And then I tried to find more money to help with my project, and that failed horribly. Created a black hole in the beginning of this year, and then I've been trying to recover ever since until August, which everything went back up again, and now I'm recovering ever so slightly. So I just gave you guys a full story of what's going on with me. But but yeah, game engine, So I'm gonna start it up next week. So I hope so, so I can like, get this thing rolling, because it's just I'm tired of not having anything done, so Um, yeah. So it's just the idea is elaborate. I don't know who out there can actually help me, but that'll be very awesome if you guys can. Um, I haven't lost hope. I did for a second, for sure. I did. But there's other things I can do in the meantime to get everybody helping me. For instance, the stop motion animation I'm going to tell you guys about in the next video. And since this is going to be unlisted for you guys to see, what's up with this, so I'm going to have this as reference point. So anything special after this, no. Like for instance, do a menu open up when there's fighting? No. Like we can actually have polished details after this is all set up. The only thing that comes around with UI is, let's see about the UI. Let me go and get there. UI. Okay, so where did I? Oh yeah, it's in designs. I have over 2 terabytes of information, so it's a lot of crap. So currently, oh, what are you doing over there? This is the current UI, which is subject to change. So, what's going down with this is that we have this area right here. Oh, what's going on? Oh, okay, whatever, guys. Whatever. My phone just keeps rumbling on itself. It's like, but then this. I'm like, shut up. I know. Stop it. If it pops up again, I'm gonna go knock it out. So like I was saying, this area right here, if you're seeing closely, this is for what was it? What was it? Special abilities. So there's 2 halves of the game. The first half, we don't have to worry about that. That actually helps. Actually, no, it's the first half. The first half, that if you collect like 30 of those gems, of the first half of the game, you collect those 30, then you go to the next level. So, it'll let you know, the game will let you know that you need to collect those 30 to go to. It's very linear setup. So once you collect those 30, go to the next level, another 30, next level. And it changes too, so it cannot be only 30, but it could be 60 or 80 or whatever. And once you collect those things, these are like the dream gems. And the Garden of Dreams, you have to put him together again, so you need to collect that. That's the whole purpose of the first part of the game. But once you collect the big ones, which are the within the end bosses, then you will unlock the Guardian of Dreams, and he's gonna be in the dungeon within trapped within what was it a bubble of the netherworld that Coney Jr. Has you kind of like, it kind of has it enshrined into, like, he has it like right there. So you beat him up, and he pretty much, with him completely, vanquished, his soul unlocks the way into the realm, into that dungeon, and you go and save your, pretty much your father. And once you do that, then that's the second half of the game. So that second half, then you get, um, items and special abilities. So that's why, most in the beginning, you're gonna just have, uh, the money point here. This is not going to appear until the second half, and this is gonna be there for the first half. So once you're done with the first half, this is gonna disappear, and then this is gonna reappear. This is gonna be appearing there, ready. And since the UI and this side is gonna be kind of like, that's why I want to like, what I'm gonna do with this side. Pretty much with this, I am going to turn it into a special coin, or the purple coin that you're gonna have to collect. And but that will be different, so it's kind of like it's like another incentive in the game that I'm going to give the player to do, um because from linear it becomes non-linear. Think of Mega Man, where you have a hub world. Oh, think of Mario has a hub world, and you go to the hub world and you decide exactly where to go. So there will be like 3 dungeons every way to open, and once you're done with 3, it will open a new set of dungeons. And you keep going doing this until you unlock all 8 dungeons and all 8 abilities, or special, which is gonna be here, you're able to use. So think of again Mega Man in that, in regards, where you have 8 different weapons, that you get from the, robot masters. Same deal here. Instead of robot masters, you get abilities from the sacred gems, or the sacred geometries, that will be there to help you master reality. So once you have all 8 pieces, um, uh, pretty much you will have, uh, a super ability to do all kinds of cool stuff, and these are, permanent power ups. So it's kind of like Mega Man with permanent power ups in the game. And then you go through different dungeons and different puzzles to use them. Then the final boss is, Coney Prime, and or you can say is, Zeta Prime. And once you go get up against Zeta Prime, you defeat him, and then there'll be, what was it? Oh, that's it. That will be it for the first chapter. Award wise, there will be, obviously a story to tell you. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. No, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. No. So, but yeah, that's how, in turn, how things are gonna roll out, and I'm gonna have cutscenes and all that stuff. And the reason why I'm using Unity is because, as you see right here, you think this is pixel art. It's not. This is all real-time 3D, uh, with a post processing filter that makes everything look like, pixelated. So it's kind of like Pico game engine. But the difference from between Pico and this is that within Unity, I'm planning to use that same post processing to change it up altogether. So meaning story. This is all story. Initially, the world is pixelated because it is, and when the Zeta Trinity comes in and takes over the reality, it transforms everything. So instead of pixels, it turns everything into 3D. So from 2D it turns everything into 3D, and so Dark goes into the third dimension within the same game. And that happens right in the middle of the game. When Coney is like, well, there you go. And he just transforms reality. And you're now in 3D, and now within 3D, you're able to actually have other dynamic angles that are not totally possible in the top-down view. But you still play the same way. It's just that it's gonna give you more of third person kind of feeling, but it's not third person. It's still 2.5D kind of aspect of gameplay, and you'll have freedom of the camera to move around. That's what I'm thinking to do, but it depends on research and development to be able to get to that level of the prototype. If it works, then I'll keep it. If it doesn't work, I'm probably gonna take it away. So you just never know. You just gotta try it out to see if it does. So I have to try it out to see if it works. If it doesn't work, I gotta cut it. So yeah, and that's it. That's the game in a nutshell. Within an hour and 10 minutes. So that's what I try to plan with the game dev aspect of it. I know, sorry if it made it long, but I lay it all out in an unlisted video for people who are following me, and then try to see what's up with this whole thing. So, you know, um, it's a lot better if I talk visually here than just texting or just talking about it, like, you got some visual aid to help out exactly what's going on, and I got the mouse to indicate what's going on. One thing that I really love is to every level I want to be able to tell you exactly where you are. It's kind of like in Super Mario World, or yeah, it's like Super Mario World kind of aspect to it, you know, or Super Mario 1. Mostly Mario 1 tells you if you're level 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. So instead of just saying all that, it'll give you like the actual name of it. So it just detailing that aspect. Also, character wise, you'll have different levels. So this is the special bar that I was saying before. And you can use the special bar. Actually, no, this is the experience bar, and this is the skill bar, and then later I'm gonna have a special bar. The special bar is gonna be green, I think. Is it green? Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, I'm still working on it. So skill bar, and then I'm gonna change this. So the color coding, so like that you will see exactly what's up. Um, and because initially this interface design was more like for a Zelda type of game, but then play Dragon Quest, and I'm just gonna change it up altogether. So battle mode screen, I'm thinking maybe I actually have to change the UI for battle mode, which I have to then redesign this aspect to it. Just to know that you are in battle mode, I should have something like that to indicate it. So um yeah, I think maybe what happens is that if you're in battle mode, this pops up, right? Yeah. So this pops up and this stays. Well, actually, item stays, and then this stays, and this stays, but this goes away. And you go into battle mode, this pops up, and then this and the special pops up. Indicating you, or like literally, like if I would have it on PlayStation, I would have the PlayStation buttons show up, and then it will let you know exactly what they do. It's like, shing, so, or have them there. So, the extra layer of polish, it would be like a shining um, animation for every time you go into battle mode. So, the controller will just shine a new action onto the buttons, like, like that. Yeah, exactly. So, I can work it out like that too. Oh shit, it's late. It's light outside. All right, time for me to go. Hello, hello, there. There we go. Much better now. So, thank you for watching, and oh snap. No! It's an echo all this time. No. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.